Hello viewers, in this session I cover classification of rectifiers and based on different parameters, and this is the most important topic in power electronics, and this is also most practical used in our applications in modern in the modern world. So by using these rectifiers, so there are many advantages will be there. So first one is the classification of rectifiers. So these are based on the single phase and three phase. So in the single phase, rectifiers uh, have two types. One is the half wave and full wave. And in the full wave, uh, center tapped, center tapped or split supply. So this is the two types. And also these are the other name of split supply is the center tapped, and also bridge rectifier will be there. And also in this single phase, uncontrolled rectifiers also will be there. Uncontrolled uncontrolled rectifiers I will explain in the next part, that one. So first of all, these are the controlled. So these are the controlled, nothing but by using diode. This is nothing but thyristor. And also three phase, here in the three phase classification is off controlled, fully controlled or uncontrolled. So all are made with half bridge and also full bridge. So these are the major classification, and here the space is not sufficient to explain all those things, so that I will explain individually. And first of all, what are the phase control rectifiers? So phase control rectifiers. So we know that for rectifier, generally rectifier is made with generally diode. So this is a general rectifier and a phase controlled rectifier. So this is a different one. So unlike diodes, an SCR does not continue conducting immediately after uh, its uh, its voltage becoming positive. So that here, so if you take a diode, if you give supply, this is a positive and a negative, nothing but this is anode and this is cathode. After giving the positive supply to the anode, after cutting voltage of 0.7 volt, the diode will conduct. But if you take thyristor, SCR or thyristor, if you give supply, nothing but AC supply to the thyristor, it will not conduct. If it will not conduct until you give the gate pulse. So it requires triggering by means of a pulse at gate. So if you give the, this is the gate pulse, this is nothing but a gate. After giving the gate pulse only, it will turn on. So nothing but this SCR will turn on at this point, at this point, or at this point, or anywhere we want. If you give the gate pulse here, it will turn on at this point. It will give the gate pulse here, it will turn on from this onwards. If you give gate pulse here, it will turn on this onwards. So that it is possible to make a thyristor conduct at any point on the off wave. So this is, if you take off wave, it will turn on at any point which applied positive voltage at the anode. So at this, at any point at the positive cycle, it will turn on, and this output voltage will be controlled. Nothing but you know that output of full wave Vm by pi, and with the phase control rectifier Vm by cos 1, Vm by 1 plus cos theta. 2 Vm by pi is the full wave rectifier RMS value, but in the RMS value of phase control rectifier full wave will be Vm by pi into 1 plus cos alpha. So based on the cos theta angle, output voltage will be controlled. So this is the final point. Now let us discuss the applications. And these phase control rectifiers are used in steel rolling mills, paper mills, textile mills, where control of DC motor speed is necessary. So sometimes in such a applications, speed control of motor is very essential, and so that efficient controlling of speed of DC machines, these phase control rectifiers used, and by using phase control rectifiers we can control the output voltage so that speed of the DC motor will be controlled. And these phase control rectifiers used in traction. So in the traction, nothing but in the electric locomotives like Indian Railways. So Indian Railways, these phase control rectifiers are used to control speed of the train. In the modern applications, uh, if you take MMTS, multi-modal transport system in Hyderabad, which is available in Hyderabad, MMTS or in metro trains. So speed control is automatic speed control is will be available, and automatic closing of the doors, automatic braking system. So in such a applications, these phase control rectifiers are used. And HVDC transmission system. In HVDC transmission system, if you want to convert HVAC to HVDC, high voltage AC is to high voltage DC, can be controlled by using the phase control rectifiers, and also electromagnetic power supplies. So these are the applications where the power phase control rectifiers or power electronic devices are used. So classification of controlled rectifiers. So the at the initial space is not sufficient, so that I'm explaining the classification here. These phase control rectifier, single phase half wave control rectifiers are classified as in this manner. First one is R load. So half control rectifier with R load, RL load. R load is nothing but resistive load. RL load is nothing but resistive and inductive loads. And also this control rectifier with RL load with freewheeling diode. Nothing but across the RL load, if you connect a diode, that will become RL load with freewheeling diode. I will explain individually every phase control rectifiers with different loads, but now just remember the classification. And also single phase full wave. So these are the half wave up to here, half wave, and these are the full wave. Full wave also R load, RL load with a freewheeling diode. And also single phase full wave rectifier with a half controlled. So this is the full control rectifier, this is the half controlled rectifiers. So in this full control rectifier, full wave rectifiers, we can use either uh, 4 thyristors. So fully or full controlled, if you observe this part, you will get 4 thyristors used. 4 thyristors used. Half controlled or semi controlled. If you observe, if you listen this word, or if you look at half controlled or semi controlled, so in that rectifiers, two thyristors and two diodes and two thyristors used, two SCCRs used. And also be apart from these things, so apart from these things, another different models also available. So that is for higher education. uh, Apart from these things, RE load also available, RLE loads also available for half wave and full wave. So RE load, nothing but E load is nothing but a back EMF. So RLE load is nothing but a simply DC machine, DC motor, not machine. RLE load is nothing but DC motor, because winding having resistance and also reactance and also back EMF. so back EMF. That's why this is RLE load. So these are the classification of phase control rectifier. How why? Because this is phase control rectifier means why that is named as phase control rectifier means, so this is up to 180 degrees total phase will be controlled. Phase will be controlled. That's why this is called a phase control rectifier. Classification of rectifiers are based on the cycles, input cycles, half wave, full wave rectifiers, and also two types of full wave rectifiers. One is center tapped, another one is bridge rectifiers. Depending on the number of phases, there are two types: single phase rectifiers and three phase rectifiers. So these are the classification based on the input voltage, and also classification of rectifiers are based on the period, number of period: single pulse rectifier, two pulse rectifiers, three pulse rectifiers, and six pulse rectifiers. And if you take first of all, let us discuss a simple one, simple phase control rectifier, that is half wave rectifier, half wave controlled rectifier. Half wave controlled rectifier or half controlled rectifier, both are same. First of all, let us discuss the waveform so that you can understand the theory. So whatever the theory which is available here, I will explain in this diagram. This is the AC supply, nothing but V input. So I am writing here V input is equal to Vm sin omega t. So Vm sin omega t is nothing but angular momentum. So this is nothing but Vm. So I will take new pen so that this is nothing but a Vm. So this is Vm. Vm is changing with respect to sine wave. So sine theta is equal to sine 0 degrees is equal to 0, 45 is equal to 0.707, 60 is equal to 0.866. Like that, these values are changing. Sine 90 is equal to 1. So Vm is changing from 0 to 0, 0.707, 0.86, sine 90 will be 1, and reverse will be takes place. So this Vm is changing as a 0.707 Vm, 0.866 Vm, or Vm. So Vm is changing. That's why this this is the waveform. This is the thyristor. We know that one. The thyristor symbol will be like this, just like a diode, and also a gate will be provided like this. This is anode and this is cathode, and this is gate. The three terminals will be available, and this is AC supply is given to the AC supply and inserted with the thyristor, and the voltage across the thyristor will be Vt, and this is connected to a resistive load. Nothing but this is output voltage, and this is the output current I output, V output, and this is the RL load current, and these SCR is connected in series with the load, so that current through the thyristor which is equal to current through the R, nothing but I output. So because these are all connected in series, let me erase this one so that so let me zoom this one so that you can is visible clearly, so that so this is a waveform, nothing but Vm. This is Vm magnitude. This is changing with respect to this is alternating supply, positive and negative. This is the AC supply, AC input. So if AC supply given to the thyristor, it will not turn on until you give the gate pulse. This is the gate pulse. If you don't give any gate pulse like this, the thyristor will block the voltage. So if you give the gate pulse, he will be here, nothing but IZ gate current. If you give the gate pulse, nothing but in terms of gate current, here gate pulse given to the thyristor, the thyristor will be turned on. So this is a gate pulse here. From this onwards, the thyristor will allows the current. So up to this one only, up to 180 degrees only. So that will be shown here. So output voltage will be, it will be turned on. Actually this is the waveform, AC waveform, but will be, you are giving gate pulse here, so that it will turn on here, and it will be continuously, turn on up to 180 degrees. So after 180 degrees, this reverse, the negative supply will be given, and the thyristor automatically will be turned on at this natural 0 point. The separate commutation methods will be available. So this will be turned off here, and this is VT is nothing but thyristor voltage. This VT is nothing but thyristor voltage, nothing but voltage across the thyristor. If it is turned on, if the thyristor will be turned on, this will be short circuited and voltage across this one will be 0. So when this turn on, the voltage across the thyristor will be 0. So it will be turned on here, so that voltage will be 0 until this point, up to this area. In this area, the thyristor will be turned off, so that turned on, and it will be shown as short circuited. And look at this area. This area will be the blocking area. Nothing but voltage will be available across this until we give the gate pulse to the thyristor. Voltage will be available across the thyristor, so that this will block the voltage, so that it will appear, voltage will be appear. And you can see the negative portion of the half cycle. This will be the blocked one. So the thyristor will be turned off at the negative half cycle, and it will block the voltage, nothing but open circuited, so that voltage across this one nothing but supply voltage. Again, until give the gate pulse at this point, this will be, voltage will be blocked, and again from this onwards, in this at the bottom you can see this will be the allowing the voltage, and similarly this will be continued, so that if you take output equation, output voltage equation, V output is equal to integration of 1 by 2 pi, and this is a firing angle. If it is here, alpha is, this is 0, this is the point where we are giving the firing angle, so that point I am taking as alpha, firing angle alpha. So alpha 2 output is available up to pi only, and this is the Vm sin omega, Vm sin omega t dt. So if you solve this one, if you integrate this one, we will get Vm by 2 pi into 1 plus cos alpha. If alpha increases, nothing but firing angle increases, nothing but if you fire at this point, alpha is increasing like this up to 180 degrees. So alpha will be 180 degrees. If you take alpha is equal to 180 degrees, Vm by 2 pi 1 plus cos 180 degrees. Cos 180 degrees will be the minus 1. So that Vm by 2 pi 1 minus 1 will be 0. Output will be 0, because you are giving the gate pulse at 180 degrees, so that at 180 degrees output voltage will be 0. So that's why this is the equation from the output voltage. And if you give the output voltage alpha is equal to 90 degrees, what will happen? Vm by 2 pi 1 plus cos 90 will be 0. So that if angle increases, this term becoming negative as reduces, and this value will be reduces and becoming negative, so that the resultant output voltage will be decreases as alpha increases. These are the terms which we should remember. First one is a major point in this single phase half wave rectifier with R load. We should remember 3 points. So first one is as alpha increases, output voltage will be decreases. That is the first point. And the next point will be as firing angle increases, voltage blocking at the thyristor will also increases. And also firing angle decreases. Next point is firing angle decreases, output voltage is decreasing. According to that, output current will be increasing. So that output current I output is equal to V output by R. So that some of the magnitude of the output voltage will be reduced. So this is the waveform will be similar to the output voltage waveform, but magnitude will be reduced. So this is the output voltage V output by R. We are dividing with R so that total magnitude will be decreases. So this is the single phase single phase half wave rectifier with R load. So these are the key points with a single phase half wave rectifier with R load. I already discussed all.